All right. Good morning. Good morning. This is Taria Hodge of Social Media Saturdays. We are just getting ready to start, so bear with me while I continue setting up the webinar platform. And if you are out there, just let me know if you are out there and you could actually see me, hear me. Making sure I start the stream. Okay, hold on one second. All right, all right. Good morning, my social media superstars. Good morning. This is Taria Hodge of Social Media Saturdays. Mic check, mic check. Just let me know if you are out there, if you can hear me, if you could see me. Let me know if I am live. And today we are going to have some fun this morning. Good morning. This is Okay, so let me just make sure that I don't have the feed going in two places so we could hear an echo. And I'm just checking to make sure that we are live on Facebook. So just give me one moment while I check the feed. And I'm just smiling because I'm using a new webinar platform. Well, new to me, actually. Usually I do the Social Media Saturdays live stream directly into the group. So this morning I am using Zoom webinars to broadcast. Okay. And I think I see the stream. I think I am live. I could see it. Okay. So once again, if you are out there, let me just make sure that it's playing, that the feed is still live. Good morning. I am out there. Let me just make sure that it's playing, that the feed is, yep, okay, all right, the feed is live. Okay, all right, so welcome once again. Good morning. My name is Taria Hodge of Social Media Saturdays, and Social Media Saturdays is a live stream broadcast platform, an online live stream broadcast platform dedicated to showing entrepreneurs and business owners how to leverage the power of social media in their business. Okay, so once again, I am your host, Taria Hodge. And I'm so excited this morning because I get a chance to talk about it's becoming one of my favorite topics, Facebook Lives versus using webinars in your business. And I absolutely love this. This is a question that I'm getting more often from clients, from people who, I connect with, network, people who are out there that are using video marketing in their business, video marketing to increase the awareness of their business, increase the awareness of their brands. And one of the major questions is, should I use live stream video? Included in that will be Facebook Lives, or should I use a traditional webinar format? So today we're going to talk a little bit about that, okay? So I want to once again welcome and thank everyone for joining this episode of Social Media Saturdays. And also, before we get into today's content, I just wanted to take a brief moment, to say thank you for, all of my superstars, all of my social media family and friends who have just been praying for my family as they come through Hurricane Irma. Okay, so Hurricane Irma passed through the Caribbean islands. Lots of devastation. Watching the videos, and it's so fitting that we're talking about live stream videos this morning, because I'm just going to share with you guys, watching the live stream on the Facebook Lives, I should say, throughout the storm has like been really and truly the only way, that we're getting connected and we know what's going on, at home. Okay. So video is very, 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 very powerful. So the power lines are still down, electricity is still down, phone service is out, okay, but because of Wi-Fi and the power of internet, we've been able to stay in connection. And one of the main ways that we are staying in connection is through the live stream videos on social media. So I just thought it was so fitting that I already planned to talk about live streaming videos this morning as well. So once again, thank you everyone for praying for my family. And also I want to make sure that you keep our other social media Saturday superstars in your prayers as well. We have Etienne Gibbs, he's still on the island. Bobby Fawcett, she's still on the island. Valerie Sims, she's still on the island. Lisa Wynn Magnuson, she's still on the island. Carl Sutton is still on the island. And Stephanie Richardson and my Toastmasters family. So I just wanted to take a minute, to once again, to let you guys know that you are in prayer. We are coming together as a collective whole and just keeping the prayers surrounding the Caribbean islands, surrounding the Virgin Islands, surrounding the British Virgin Islands, even as the storm is moving up the coast, is moving up to Cuba. It's due to go pass over the Bahamas, the Keys in Florida. So I'm just once again encouraging everyone to keep everyone who, is in the path of Irma to just keep us all prayed up that we make it through the storm safely, okay? And then there's another one right behind, Jose's right behind. So I don't know what Mother Nature is trying to tell us, but she has a wrath. So I'm just praying that everyone stays safe, okay? Now, also, if you on here in true social media Saturday's fashion, I'm just going to ask you to let me know who's out there and who's watching this morning, okay? So take a minute to just go ahead and post your name in the group, post your first name in the group, post your last name in the group. Tell us where you are watching from, okay? Because we want to know. We want to know who all is out there and connecting with us today, okay? So tell us where you're from. Also, share with us, what you do in your business, okay? So we want to know who you are called to serve and how do you serve your ideal client. So go ahead and share that with us this morning, right in the comments below the video, okay? And then while you're there, make sure you post the link to your Facebook business page. Okay, so if you have a business page for Facebook, we want to make sure that we are connecting with you. So tell us what you do. Make sure you share the link to your Facebook business page. And if you don't have a Facebook business page, make sure you share the link to your website. All right. Now, also, I want to make sure that we are getting this information out to as many business owners and entrepreneurs as possible. So if you are on the Social Media Saturdays episode this morning, we're talking about Facebook Lives versus traditional webinars, right? Or live stream videos versus traditional webinars. And if you know of another entrepreneur, of a business owner, who's just getting started with video marketing, okay, and they have a couple of questions, they might not be sure exactly what to use when or what platform they should use, make sure you go ahead and share this broadcast out. So if you look below the video, please go ahead and click on the share button and make sure that you share this video out, okay? So I think you have a couple of ways that you could share. You could share directly, onto your timeline, or you could also hit the invite button. And if you see the invite button, if that button appears for you, then you might want to go ahead and invite 5 people that you know who can benefit from this information. So I say it all the time, don't be stingy. I'm a good old island girl, okay? So don't be stingy. Go ahead and share it out. Share it out with your network. Okay, so make sure that you are inviting others, and then you're inviting people to Social Media Saturdays as well, because once again, Social Media Saturdays is a platform designed for entrepreneurs to learn more about social media and how you could leverage the power of social media in your business. So this is a safe community of entrepreneurs. So if you have questions as you go through developing your social media strategy, that will allow you to achieve some of the goals that you have in your business. If you have things that concerns you, topics that you want to discuss a little bit further, information that you want to know, you could always come back, into the group, not just on Saturdays, but you could come back to the group during the week and ask those questions. So I do monitor the group. I do reach out. I do answer questions because once again, it's a community, okay? And we're all dedicated to helping each other grow. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and ask a question this morning. How many of you out there, are using videos in your marketing for your content strategy? How many of you out there are now starting to use videos, whether you are doing live stream videos or you are doing traditional webinars in your business? Just go ahead and let me know. I'm going to see if I could see the comments. Okay, and I see I have a couple of comments on here. So let me just make sure. Okay, and I see that Lyric Hawkins is out there, and then she's raising her hand and she's saying, me, I do use video. So Rockstar, thank you for joining this morning, and I'm glad to know that you are using videos. And I know you had your series, that you did a 30-day series as well, okay? So the question is, when you use videos in your business, what platform do you find is best, or what platform do you use and why? So that's the question today. That's what I want to know. So are you using Livestream? Do you prefer to use Livestream in your business, or do you prefer to use traditional webinars? So I'm going to give you guys a chance to just go in and weigh in and let me know exactly what it is you're using. And when I talk about Livestream, I'm talking about things like Facebook Live, Periscope. That's another one. A couple weeks ago, I was trying to remember the name of the live stream broadcast that I absolutely loved when it came out, and it was Blab. I could not remember the name of Blab to save my life, right? But it was Blab, and I absolutely love Blab. But unfortunately, there's no more Blab. Blab is gone. Okay, so so what are you using out there? So I see that Lyric says that she uses Zoom, and Zoom works great. And actually, Zoom is the platform that I am on this morning. So I am actually using Zoom webinar. We'll talk a little bit about platforms like Zoom, and Zoom gives you the opportunity to do a traditional webinar, and then you also have the capability of streaming it like I'm doing right now to Facebook Live. So I asked the question in the group, and I got a response, a very interesting response from Cynthia Green. So I don't know if Cynthia, she's on here and she's watching this morning, but Cynthia says, hi, Taria, it depends. If it's a targeted training or paid training, I prefer registering and watching a webinar due to reminders and putting it on my calendar. For me, Facebook Live is hit and miss. And if I'm not scrolling or seeing a person's post that the live is coming up, then I'm going to miss it. So I tend to want to keep scrolling around to see what else I find on Facebook. So I think that, and first of all, I'd like to just go ahead and thank Cynthia for just taking a minute to answer the poll question and sharing your thoughts. And it's interesting that you said that, because I'm of the same mindset as well, okay? So when I'm looking at either whether I'm consuming a training, which means I'm taking a training, from someone else, or I'm providing a training, okay, I would prefer, to use a traditional webinar format, okay? So I get it. And then for things like Social Media Saturdays, where I'm just here providing wonderful, exciting, information. And I'm using this type of format to build up the awareness of my brand, then definitely, I prefer to use a live stream format such as Facebook Live. Okay, so I am taking a look. And Lyric Hawkins says YouTube Live lets you do the notifications too. So Lyric, I have a question for you, okay? And let me ask you this. So I'm using Zoom platform. Do you connect your Zoom live stream to your YouTube when you are using your Zoom? So if you are, just go ahead and weigh in and let me know if you've tried that and if it works for you and how it's working for you, okay? So, because I also know that they have the capability to do that as well, okay? So, before we actually get into the topic of discussion, for those of you who are out there and you're still kind of sitting on the fence about video marketing, I just want to share with you 3 main reasons why you need to start adding videos to your marketing strategy. So that's the first thing, because I also get that too, where some people say, well, I've heard about videos, whether it's webinars, whether it's live stream videos, but I'm really not sure if it's a fit for my business, or I'm not sure if, or how to get started, okay? So I want to encourage you that in this day and age that we are in, video marketing is like key, okay? Number one, it allows you to build a higher engagement with your audience, okay? So people are 10 times more likely to consume video content than they're consuming other content such as written content and regular Facebook posts, okay? So that's something that you want to consider. So if you are looking to increase the exposure of your brand, okay, and build up your brand awareness, definitely putting up video content out there allows you to bring in a higher engagement rate. It also gives you the opportunity, to build a stronger connection with your audience. So that's point number 2. So you want to consider that. And I talk about this all the time, the like, know, and trust factor. So providing video content is one of the quickest way for people to get a chance to peel back the curtain on your brand, okay? And see exactly the people who are behind the brand, actually the culture of the brand, and connect with that brand or that business culture emotionally, okay? So you could see it, you could see the smiles, you could feel the emotions, and really and truly, that's what people connect with, okay? So yes, they do make decisions, based on their mind, but a lot of times, most of the times, it's the emotion that's driving the decisions that people make to work with you or to purchase your product or your service, okay? So including video as part of your marketing strategy will definitely give you the opportunity to convey or get that emotion, across. And the number one reason, and this is why I absolutely love it, including video marketing in your marketing strategy or videos in your marketing strategy gives you the opportunity to increase your customer conversions. And I think I just touched on that, okay? So once again, this is how you showcase your brand, you showcase your business, you showcase the culture. So people want to know, okay, exactly what's going on. Even if you have a product or a service, you could jump on there and then you could show people how your product and your service works, okay? Do a live demonstration. And once people have the opportunity to see how you operate, see how your product functions, see how your product can help them, they have the ability to make an informed decision, which once again results in a higher conversion rate for you. Okay, so 3 reasons why you want to consider adding videos to your marketing strategy. Number 1, it helps you increase your engagement. Number 2, it helps you build stronger emotional connections. And number 3, ultimately allows you to increase your customer conversions. Okay, so let me just go ahead and take a look at the notes. I said Colette is out there. She's doing a wonderful job of taking notes for me. Thank you, Colette, for doing that. And yes, Lyric, definitely. People do get the opportunity to know you through your videos. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and once again, guys, this is like an open social media Saturdays today. So we're talking about live streams versus traditional webinars. So as people join on, I saw that LaShonda Bracey. Good morning, LaShonda. How are you? LaShonda has just jumped on. Okay, so LaShonda, if you are out there and you are using videos in your business, please share with me what type are you using? Are you using the Facebook Live videos, or are you using traditional webinars? And the second part to the question is, I want to know why, okay? Why do you prefer one platform over the other? Or do you use like a double strategy? You use Facebook Lives in one instance and then traditional webinars in another instance, okay? So I'm definitely looking forward, to hearing all the feedback on that. So what I'm going to do is just share some benefits of live stream. So I use both, just to let you guys know. I use both in my business. So I use live stream. Social media Saturdays is definitely a live stream platform. So I jump on here and, I do the videos. Now, I love it. And I love live stream, and I'm able to do social media Saturdays every Saturday because of the convenience of live stream, okay? And what do I mean by the convenience of live stream? Well, all I have to do is just basically, turn on my camera. There's minimal setup when I do live stream, or sometimes I'll jump on, on my phone, my cell phone, and I'll do a live stream directly from my phone. So there's no pressure, to set up the landing pages, do the promotions and have people register. The content is just streamed directly, to my Facebook group, okay? And I send out notifications, so people get the notifications and then they're able to join. But I'm telling you, it took a lot of pressure off of me to just be able to do the live stream versus doing traditional webinars. So those of you who have been with me for a long time, over the past, 2-3 years, you know that Social Media Saturdays was a traditional webinar format. And when it was in that traditional webinar format, I did not do the webinars every week. I did the webinars every other week, so twice a month, just because of the setup and the promotional factor, okay? So I love it because live stream, once again, it takes that pressure, off of the setup. It takes the pressure, I didn't have to write no emails for y'all today and all of that stuff, okay? So for me, I prefer to use a live stream platform, for Social Media Saturdays. Now, if I am going to do a teaching, on a specific product or specific topic, and I'm looking for a selective audience, then definitely I will set up a webinar, traditional webinar. Why? Because I want to make sure that I'm specifically targeting my audience, whether it's through my email list, whether it's through creating a Facebook event, whether it's through running ads, okay? And I want to be able to capture the registrations, okay? So things like, and not only that, I want to capture people's attention. So I'm just going to say that too. So for me, I'm just sharing. When I have content that I want to have your full attention, then that will definitely be a webinar, okay? Because to me, what I find with the Facebook Lives is great. It's fun. People chime in when they can. If they aren't able to do it, it's okay. They'll come back, they'll watch it, whenever. And, that's fine. No problem with that. But, if I have something that I'm teaching on, that I need your full attention, then definitely that will be a webinar. Why? Because people are trained. When they come on webinars, it's a set time. to do the webinars. You have question and answer. They're programmed to bring their notebooks, okay? And so they are in the mind frame of learning, okay? So that's when I use traditional webinars, okay? So I'm just gonna jump in and share with you some of the benefits of using live stream. So number one, live stream is exactly what it is, okay? A live feed of whatever your topic of conversation is or whatever your presentation is, okay? People can access your information in real time, and they could both see your video and they could both hear your audio. Now, live feeds are great. Then this is, I think, the biggest benefit, huge benefit for me in using live stream. You're able to generate an amazing amount of traffic and attention and awareness to your brand, okay? So I usually encourage, my clients as well to incorporate, live stream videos as part of their marketing strategy, because excellent opportunity for you to build up your brand awareness. Okay. Now with live stream, you do have the opportunity with certain page builders that would allow you to embed the stream. That's a little bit technical, to embed the live stream onto your website, but natively that's not originally done through live stream. Okay. So live stream, usually people are going live stream on devices, such as their cell phones or on their tablets. Okay, but in order for you to have the ability to use it on other platforms, you need to have some type of third-party application, such as what I'm using now, like with Zoom. Zoom is a third-party application for live stream. So it gives me the opportunity to do a webinar, because this is actually set up as a webinar in Zoom, okay, but it has a live stream capability. Okay. Now, also with live streams, one of the greatest benefits of live stream is that your viewers have the opportunity to interact with you and interact with your brand content in like real time. And I talk about this because, like I said, I know we're talking about the topic of live streams and webinars from a business standpoint, but this week, has just been, totally surreal for me, because it's only through live stream I've been able to get in contact, with my family. And it's just amazing to see how people are leveraging the power of live stream. Okay. So I just wanted to say that. So those are some of the top benefits of using live stream, for your business. So once again, the hugest benefit is just the brand awareness. You have the opportunity to have the convenience, right there with minimal setup, minimal effort to showcase your brand's culture. So whether you're doing a product, you're showcasing a product, or whether you're doing behind the scenes are huge. People always want to know what happens behind the scenes, right? So live stream will give you the ability to do that, because once again, it hinges on the part of being like a mobile platform, where all you need is your cell phone or a mobile device, your cell phone, your tablet, and then you could practically stream from anywhere. Okay. And let me just make sure that I check my comments, because I see people are joining in and people are leaving comments and questions. So hi, Minister Angela Gracie. Thank you for joining this morning. And I think I saw Kisha Hodge. Kisha Hodge just jumped on. So hi, Kisha. How are you? How are you? Yes, and Colette says people access your information in real time. Live stream gives you the ability to generate traffic in your brand, and your audience can interact with you in real time. So yes, definitely, those are some of the benefits of, implementing a live stream strategy in your business. Okay, so now I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to cover the webinar benefits. Okay, so I talked about that. I just shared, a little bit of when I prefer to use a live stream versus using a webinar. Okay, so on a webinar or traditional webinars, and when I talk about traditional webinars, I'm talking about platforms like your GoToWebinars, platforms like your Instant Broadcast Pro, your Easy Webinars, your Webinar Ignition, okay? Those are traditional webinars where, some setup, is required, okay? So typically they come with a landing page or registration page. They come with a thank you page. They come with the ability for you to integrate an email campaign, to set up reminders via email to send out to your webinar registrants, okay? And that's the biggest point right here, is that when you do traditional webinars, you're now in the mindset, or one of the mindsets, of collecting the information or collecting the data on your registrants. Okay, so huge, huge, huge. And some of them not only have the capability of doing the email reminders to make sure that your registrants get on the webinar, they also have the text message capability as well. Okay, so those additional communication factors are also embedded into the traditional webinar formats, and you don't necessarily get those in a live stream format. Okay, so huge, huge, huge difference. Okay, so people are able to still access your content in real time over the internet. But here's the key: if you are using visual aids, okay, to conduct your topic or your presentation, then definitely you want to consider using a webinar format, because once again, on a live stream, you don't have the ability to bring up a PowerPoint presentation, or you don't have the ability to share your desktop or share your screen. Okay, so usually with live stream is just camera on camera. So that's another thing. As you start to plan out what type of video content that you're going to share in your business, you want to know what to use when. Okay, so definitely if you're going to do a presentation and you have visual aids, whether it's your PowerPoint slides or you are sharing your desktop, definitely you want to consider having a traditional webinar format. Okay, also, when it comes to the traditional webinars, here's what I love. I love the opportunity for you to be able to embed things like your live polls and your quizzes, once again, collecting that data. Okay, now I know it's easy because I see people do it all the time, on the live streams. So when they ask a question and they tell people, enter one, press one, or enter this keyword. Okay, now here's the thing: you got to go back through, your comment feed to kind of pull that data. Now, if you're going to use polls and you're going to ask questions, it's easy for you, or easier for you to get that data if you're using a traditional webinar format, because once again, traditional webinars give you the opportunity, to integrate polls. You have the ability to integrate quizzes and things like that. Survey, your audience, your viewing audience on the webinar. Okay, so those are just some of the benefits. And I see that Andre Corley has joined. Hi, Andre. Thank you for joining. I used to work with Andre all the way back at Verizon. He just took me back to my Verizon days. Okay, so thank you for jumping on, Andre. And I see Minister Angela Gracie said, benefits of webinars, landing pages, emails, and text message reminders. And you could use visual aids like PowerPoint presentations. Yes, that's correct. So once again, the key to remember here is to know beforehand what type of content you want to share with your audience. Okay, and then as you start to take a look at the tool to deliver that content, it helps you choose the best platform. So I'm just going to share with you an experience that I had, just this past week. So this past week, and it was kind of interesting because I watch how people, as a marketer, I kind of watch how people do things, okay, and the different strategies that people use. So I registered for a webinar last week, and I really love the fact that the company sent me an email, and inside the email, was, all the reasons why I needed to join this webinar. Okay. And I said, you know what? This is something I definitely want to take a look at. So naturally, I registered for the webinar. Okay. And it was so nice because I got, once again, the reminders. I got an email, I think like an hour before the actual webinar, and another email like about 15 minutes before we were scheduled to go live on the webinar. Okay. So I got on the webinar. Now, what was really interesting, as I joined the webinar, one of the things that I saw, I recognized right away, the platform that they were using. Okay, so I'm going to say this again, the platform, because that's what we're talking about. Facebook Lives versus, or live stream. I shouldn't say Facebook Lives alone. I should say live stream. Live streams versus traditional webinars. And so for her webinar, even though she titled it in her email communication as a webinar, the platform that she delivered on was a live stream platform. I was able to recognize the platform, so I'm not going to call the platform's name, right? But I recognized right away that it was a live stream platform. Now, here's the thing. On that live stream platform, I noticed, because it's live stream and pulled like a lot of bandwidth, let me just say that, it kept crashing. Okay. And I'm saying, and I said to myself, I said, wow, this is very interesting. Okay. Because number one, what would have really been cool was for her to set this type of information up as a webinar, okay? And number one, have the ability to really capture the information of the people who register, okay? She had a product that she was selling. Okay, her content was amazing when you could see the content, but one of or hear the content, or hear her, I should say, delivering the content. But one of the things that I noticed that was very, very interesting, as the feed started to go kind of in and out, okay, people started to drop off. And I was really concerned for her because, once again, she was positioning her program at the end of the webinar, okay, or the end of the live stream. So I thought to myself, in that instance, one of the things that I would have preferred that she'd done was to actually do that through a traditional webinar format. So even if she had those technical issues, she would have been able to capture, the information of the people who were actually on the webinar, because you could actually see that as well. Okay. So just kind of, be careful and think about it, give it some thought about the type of content that you are positioning and what platform you are using to deliver that content. Okay. And I see that Demetra just joined. Thank you, Demetra, for joining. And Demetra says, great insight. Yes. So these are the kind of things, that I pay attention to as I, look at what other influencers are doing in the industry. And even for me, my business, as I, continue to grow and build my business, I want to make sure that not only am I delivering, great content, but it's the right content to the right people at the right time. And now I could also say on the right platform. Okay. All right. So any questions, out there? So I know some of you have actually started, doing both using Facebook. Well, I keep saying Facebook Lives. I should just really say live stream. Or starting to use live stream in your business, or using webinars. Just go ahead and share. What are some of your experiences? What are some of your success? Or any differences that you've noticed between using both platforms? So if you have the opportunity, you could just go ahead and share. Definitely, I'd love to know what's working, really well for you. Okay, so I'm now going to share with you when to use live feeds and when to use webinars. And I think I started to cover on that already. So it's best for you to use live stream when your content is timely, like a live event or a happening. Okay, so if you have something that's going on in the now and you definitely don't have the luxury of having that prep time, to position it, like, once again, behind the scenes. Okay, those are things that are happening in the now. Live events, a lot of people are streaming their live events. Okay, those are great for live stream platforms. When your audience, okay, need to see more than just presentation information, they might need to see a product demonstration. So that's a great reason for you to use live stream versus a webinar. Okay, and I love this one when you are like my rock star out there, lyric. Okay, when if you are a speaker, okay, and your brand requires people to see more of you. Okay, that's perfect, opportunity for you to use live stream, because once again, you're able to jump on a live stream, you're able to deliver content, people could see you, and it's fairly easy for you to do that. So you don't have the headache and the hassle of dealing with, technology, in the sense where you have to actually go through the steps and the process of setting up a traditional webinar. Okay. Now, also, when it comes to using traditional webinars, you want to make sure that you are using traditional webinars if you're doing internal meetings, for your company. So if you have meetings that you're conducting, then you don't want to live stream those, okay? You actually want to use a webinar format to do that. We talked about this, the educational and the instructional sessions. So if you do have content that requires visual aids, whether it's a PowerPoint or sharing your desktop, a traditional webinar platform will be great for you to do that. Okay. Also, instances where you need to collect information on your attendees. Okay, and information starts by whether you need to collect their first name, their last name, registration information, email addresses, cell phones, things like that. Or if you have other information, detailed information that you want to collect with them, whether you are polling them or you're asking them to take a quiz, most webinar platforms give you the ability to embed polls and embed quizzes into the platform. Okay, so let me just take a look. And Minister Angela Gracie says, I have done both, but it was helpful to distinguish the benefits of each. Yes, and I'm glad that you said that, and that's the reason why I decided to cover the topic today, because I've been getting the question a lot lately. Okay, when to use live stream and when to use webinars. I see a lot of times people kind of use the words interchangeably, right? Or they would use the word webinar to cover everything. So they'll say that I'm doing a webinar, and when in essential, it isn't a webinar in the traditional sense, is actually like a live stream. Okay, and so I just thought that I'll jump on here today and share some insight. Okay, there is a difference between the both platforms, and you should be thinking, actually I love them both because I do use both myself. So, and you should be thinking as you develop your content, okay, the types of content that you want to put out there, which platform will be best for you to deliver that content on. And I always say this all the time, it goes back to your goals. So a lot of times, we do activity, but we aren't necessarily tying those activities into goals, right? So as you start to plan your content, I want you to start to really think, well, what is the goal? Okay, why am I doing this? What's the end result? Okay. And if you start to ask yourself that question, every single time, then it allows you to make a better decision as to, things like what platform you're going to use to deliver this content. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you are achieving the goals that you set for yourself. Okay. So, and I see that Daryl Mack just joined. Thank you for joining and jumping on, Daryl Mack. Nice, nice, nice. We are talking, Daryl, about live stream versus traditional webinars. So just go ahead and weigh in and let me know which one you're using in your business. Do you use live stream or do you use traditional webinars? If you have a preference, please share with us, why. We'd like to know, okay, what your preference is. And for those of you who are out there, me, True Social Media Saturdays Fashion, I do have a free gift for you this morning, okay? I have developed a Facebook Live cheat sheet. Okay, now here's the thing. It's called a Facebook Live cheat sheet, but I promise you, if you get the cheat sheet and you are doing traditional webinars, there's some hints in there for you as well that would allow you, to get better at your webinars. Okay, so if you would like to receive the Facebook Live cheat sheet, all you have to do is text the word FB Live. That's FB Live, all one word. Okay, text it to 240-747-7115. So once again, that would allow you to get the Facebook Live cheat sheet. I've put together, some points that will allow you, to, number one, get better at doing Facebook Lives, because it's a little bit more than just turning on your camera and going live, right? So people ask me all the time, oh my gosh, what do I need to do? There's so much anxiety around doing videos. I'm just going to say that, whether it's a traditional webinar video that you're doing or you're doing live stream videos, there's so much anxiety around it. So one of the things that I found is that the more prepared you are, it lessens your anxiety. Okay, so I've put together a really nice checklist, for you, a cheat sheet that lets you know all the things that you need, to have to make sure that your videos are successful. Okay. So once again, to receive that, all you have to do is text the word FB Live to 240-747-7115. You receive a text message with a link, and then you'll be able to download that directly to your device. So whether you're watching from your cell phone, you're watching from your desktop, or you're watching from your iPad, you'll be able to grab that right away. Okay? All right. And let me see, can I speak a little about how YouTube broadcasts are beneficial? Okay, so that's a great question, Angela Bracy, and I love it. So with YouTube, I use YouTube Live, right? And I think I was asking Lyric. Lyric is on here as well. And I'll share with you how I use YouTube Live, okay? So YouTube Live, you could actually use it two ways. So with most of the traditional webinar platforms, like your Easy Webinar plugin, your Webinar Jam, Instant Broadcast Pro, those platforms, actually what I call the engine or the power or the fuel, that's coming from YouTube Live, okay? So YouTube Live will give you the opportunity to set up, like a live stream as well. And now I say this, here's the thing. It goes back to, once again, what your goals are. So if you are delivering content, Minister Angela, if you're delivering content and you want that content to be gated content, which means that you want to be able to collect information, especially registration information, from the attendees, okay, then definitely what you have to do is put some kind of a gate or some kind of a landing page or a registration page in front of that content. So platforms like your, once again, your Easy Webinar, your Webinar Jam, Instant Broadcast Pro, Webinar Ignition, they give you the ability to embed the YouTube Live code into their platform. Okay, so instead of people going to YouTube Live and watching your content directly from YouTube Live, they're watching it from your platform. Now, here's where it gets really cool and where it gets interesting, because YouTube Live will give you the ability to still mark your content public. So if it's public, then it doesn't matter. Anybody will see it. They don't have to register for it. Okay, but if you mark it unlisted, the only way that people could see that content is that they have to register, for the content. Okay, so huge opportunity there once again. Okay, so just kind of how I use YouTube lives. And another great benefit, if you are using landing pages off of your website, and this is key, because at some point when I talk, I always have to go back to what I love, right, which is Facebook ads and Facebook Ads Manager, the platform. So if you are using a landing page off of your website to deliver video content, most landing pages, once again, allow you to take the embed code from YouTube, okay, and post it there. Now, this is great because you also have the ability, once again, as you get into Facebook advertising, to start building up an audience of viewership, because you're tracking the people, or you have the ability to track people who have been to your website or specific pages on your website. Okay, so I hope that definitely answers your question. Okay, so that's how I use YouTube Live. Now, I've noticed this is my second time today using Zoom platform for Social Media Saturdays, and they have a YouTube Live connection. Okay, so in all my nervousness, I did not test it before I connected it today, but definitely I will test it before our next Social Media Saturday session, okay? And we will go ahead and see how that works, okay? Because once again, Social Media Saturdays, not gated information. The information that I put here, once again, ties in to the goal of me building up my brand, okay? So the main focus here is just to make sure that I get great information out, to my wonderful social media superstars, all of my entrepreneurs and business leaders, okay? All right, so I hope, Minister Angela, that answered your question on YouTube Live. And I'm just checking just to make sure that I don't have any more questions. You guys are amazing. You guys are wonderful. For those of you who are on the south side, whether you're in Miami area, the Bahamas, because I know, guys, people tune in from like everywhere, in the Caribbean. Please, please, please try your best to be safe, with Hurricane Irma, and Hurricane Jose is right behind. And even if you are not in the path of the hurricane, let's pray for our family and our friends who are, okay? So I'm just praying for, number one, the preservation of life. That's most important. And then minimal damage, okay? All right, so, and I see that I have a comment. Angela says, yes, it's still a little fuzzy, but I'm going to try it. Thank you. And you're referring to YouTube Live. Let's have a conversation, Angela, so I could understand exactly what it is you're trying to do. Go ahead and inbox me, okay? Inbox me and let me hear, because like I said, with YouTube Live, you have the ability, to do, quite a few things actually. So I just talked about embedding it like on webinar platforms and embedding it in your page, but you also have the ability to also stream live events directly through YouTube Live. But once again, that might be a little bit technical because equipment, is involved. So I just want to make sure that I understand, number one, what it is you want to do, what the goals are that you're trying to achieve, and then I'll be able to help you, okay, steer you in the right direction. So just go ahead and shoot me an inbox message, and definitely I'll connect with you, okay? Great. Thank you, guys. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining on this another fantastic episode of Social Media Saturdays. And I will see you guys next time. Make sure that you invite your colleagues to join the group. Once again, it's an open group for business owners and entrepreneurs. Okay, so make sure you share. Don't be stingy. I say it all the time. Make sure you share. And even if you are watching this video on the replay, if you're watching on the replay and you know of a business owner, you know of an entrepreneur, that have questions around video marketing and you think that this might help after you've watched it, don't be shy. Go ahead and share it out as well. And don't forget, grab your cheat sheet, and you can grab your cheat sheet by texting FB Live, all one word, FB Live to 240-747-7115. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.